Good morning, YouTube. Happy Sunday morning. As promised, I am going to try to go live to all of you here in this setting every morning at 9 a.m. So it just happens to be Sunday morning, and I'm going to get Instagram live. So let me cue them in. We'll grab everybody. Good morning, Instagram. Oops, that was wrong. Cancel. And hold on. Sorry, I did it the wrong way. Delete video. Okay, so I didn't totally set this up. Okay, let me cue them in. Good morning, Instagram. Happy Sunday morning, as promised. We're live on YouTube and on Instagram answering your questions about the coronavirus. I want to give everybody updates, insights, thoughts. I'm going to share my keto coffee with you this morning because I totally need it. And welcome everybody. So for all of you tuning in, hey Kelly, tell me where you're tuning in from, whereabouts around the world. I'm going to give everybody an update regarding the US because I know about 86% of our viewers are particularly in the US. And I've got a major message that I want all of us to communicate to all of our friends and family, because now is the time for us to act before this pandemic, worldwide pandemic, becomes a national full-on crisis. And today is definitely a good day to have that conversation. Good morning, everybody. Sharon, Janet, Mizumi, Kathy. Hey there, Philarmity. We've got Mexico on. Give me a thumbs up and then please share. Share this video. There's, I think, a share button on Instagram as well. Sorry, I was outside and and all my beautiful plants are blooming or beginning to bloom. My hyacinths survived, and I've got allergies. So let me have a little sip of coffee and we'll kick off with our news. And then I'll share with you what I put in my coffee. That's awesome. Okay, so good morning, everybody. We've got we've got West Virginia, North Carolina, Pakistan, North Carolina, Florida, everywhere, Houston, South Louisiana. Okay, so the message for all of us today, this week, and probably even next week is social distancing. Okay, I want to dig into what that means because right now, at least in the US, there are very unclear guidelines in terms of what the government entities, state, municipalities, all of the governmental bodies. It now comes down to us. Like, we have got to get in control. We have to get into the driver's seat. And I'm seeing massive growth in these numbers, even from yesterday to today. So we're going to talk about social distancing. I'm going to talk about what that means, what to do, different measures, and some tips around that. We are going to be talking about small sacrifices for the greater good. And at the end of the day, this will be saving lives. This is what this is all about. And some trigger points to be conscious of that we might be seeing coming down the pike for us here in the US. So right now, as of this morning, I just literally checked this. We have almost 3,000 cases, and those are cases that have been tested. Now, what they say is for every one individual, there's about several hundred, at least 100 to 300 individuals that are walking around with it that have not been tested. We've had a major crisis in the last week of getting access to the test kits. And so that's a major, major issue. And I think that number is probably even greater. We are now up to 60 deaths. And so that's really serious. Good morning, Jerry. Hey, Eileen. Welcome, Victoria. So this is major. I mean, it's definitely jumping. I mean, last Friday, so less than 10 days ago, we had like 110 cases and 11 deaths. Okay, fast forward 10 days. I don't even want to imagine. We don't want to imagine what it's going to look like in 10 days. Hey there, Seek to Inspire. Love what you're doing. Yay. So let's dig into this. The travel ban has been extended here in the US. And by the way, I'm wearing my Motherhood is Powered by Love, Fueled by Coffee, and Sustained by Wine. That's my night shirt. Okay, so travel ban's been extended. They're now extending that into Ireland. So folks, for some reason, England is still okay, even though they have a quantity of cases that are alarming. We've got Colin Gareth Hills. Hey, Colin, he's from Wales, Great Britain. curious, call in on YouTube. Will you comment about what the status is there? We've got folks from Ghana. I love that, particularly on YouTube. I have a very big international community, and this is affecting all of us. So my message is we're in this together, friends. This is a worldwide situation. We have to love each other and we have to take care of each other. And some of those actions lie with us. Okay, so decisions that we're going to make. And Ray, you're welcome for trying to help keep everybody safe. This is it's on an individual basis. If I can educate you all, that's my mission. So the travel ban's been extended, and now we are dealing with cases in 49 states here in the US. So it's a problem here in the US. And it looks like there may have been a shift between yesterday and today in terms of maybe some more social awareness. But I'll tell you, I've been checking in with friends here locally in Georgia. Georgia, we have 42 cases of coronavirus. The death toll has gone up. I haven't seen the latest, but I know it's over what it was on Friday. I know folks that are still out and about and socializing and going to stores and being in social settings. That has to stop. Okay. And so I'm going to be bold and brazen. I'm usually not this like alarmist, but we have never lived through a pandemic, friends. Brian and I were talking about this as our wedding was going completely sideways and blew up because of this pandemic. And I shot a video yesterday morning and posted on my wedding channel about really kind of our thought process. And we were extremely decisive because it's one of these things, we have to be decisive. This is not wishy-washy. This is not fake. This is not something that is not coming our way. It is here. The fear and the unknown is that we can't see it. And because we can't see it, and because some of us might not even know anybody who's coming into contact with it, I say in contact because more people have and we just aren't aware. So there's a lack of testing that yields a lack of, importance to this in terms of just the extent of this. I think we saw that there are 3 NBA players that have tested positive with this. We've seen tons of sports events and big events. And hi, Navi from Georgia. I'm in Roswell, Atlanta. So what we're seeing is that us socially here in the US, we need to have a different mindset. So any of you who have plans today to go to church, or any of you who have plans to go, maybe even stock up at Aldi. Like I was posting yesterday, and I'm editing video about my Aldi haul. And even last night, I was like, there's some things that I want to get, just kind of that I'm thinking, okay, what do I need? Like contact solution. I don't want to have to run out for that. I don't want to have to run out for Epsom salts and normal things, coffee creamer, whatever. We have to hunker down and socially distance ourselves. And I'm seeing we've got somebody on Instagram. Please stop here in Italy. We're tremendously devastated now. So stay home. So please stay at home, XXX. And that's from _JEBAIT. That's an Instagram follower of ours. They're in Italy and they're on full-on lockdown. Friends, here in the US, we don't want that. And it will be coming. The World Health Organization urged countries to take drastic measures. And this will affect our everyday lives. These are going to be sacrifices of staying in and not being as social and not being as productive and running your kids around and being engaged in social settings, parties. I had a lot of messages come through yesterday on my on our feed, particularly on YouTube. I went live yesterday. So if you guys want to watch that, I went through a whole kind of litany of things I've stocked up on and I'm prepared for in the event that we, come down with whatever cold, flu bug and coronavirus symptoms. But what I wanted to communicate today is that it starts today. Like stop what your plans are and plan to stay in place and socially distance yourselves from others. Because right now, it is at that point where it could fully explode. And again, where there's one confirmed case, there's hundreds more that haven't been tested, and there's hundreds more impacting and affecting others. So this is not just about washing your hands, not using your fingertips on things. I was recommending yesterday, like using your credit card on the keypads of the ATM debit machines. It goes beyond that, friends. This is now the time to take action. And so that's my communication. Give me a thumbs up if this makes sense, everybody. On Instagram, if you guys can share to your stories, that'd be awesome. And YouTube, please share Facebook and tweet it out. I appreciate it. There's a little share button, and that totally helps us get this word out, because this is the word. The message is social distance yourself today. Many of you tuning in new, welcome all of you. I hope you'll subscribe and be a part of our community. My plan is during this whole crisis to be coming live at 9 a.m. every morning. I wash my face, brush my teeth, grab my coffee, and here we are. So this is of utmost importance. And this is no joke. We are dealing with a global pandemic. And we need to say that out loud. Global pandemic is something that we've never lived through. And because we've never lived through it, we need to take never then taken actions. Okay, so this is going to be not just a novel coronavirus, but a novel action that we all need to take actively to not only keep ourselves and our family members safe, but the greater whole of our community. Because what we see, this is epidemiology. This is all data and stats, data and statistics. Numbers don't lie. When there's an outbreak, it grows exponentially. It reaches its max peak. And then usually that max peak, if it's not controlled and people don't social distance and governments don't clamp down and control this outbreak, and we don't control the testing or maximize the testing that's out there, we have got to individually take action. And so, friends, I'm going to encourage you to start doing your activities today to prepare your families. I went online last night at like 9:30. We were watching Dirty Money. I don't know. So Netflix is going to be like our thing. And we're totally into documentaries. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Brian and I were sitting on the couch watching Dirty Money and getting really upset at, scoundrels and swindlers. And I was like, I think we need to order some more stuff, like just basic items. And I had mentioned before, I wear contacts, and like contact solution is always the thing that has me running out. Well, those are those everyday use items that you want to start to build up. It's not necessarily the toilet paper or the paper towels. And if you don't have those, I know that people have gone on to Staples and Office Depot and Home Depot, and even some of the delivery methods. It's very, very important that you make a list, like action and decisiveness. Those are the two things I want you to think about. Just go with it. Go with your gut. As humans, just like with animals, we have gut instinct. If your instinct says, this is a bad idea, I had a lot of our viewers on YouTube communicate. They had family parties yesterday, like in their homes. And one of them said, I'm hanging out in my room, listening, watching movies and listening to music. And my message to her was, okay, I'm glad that you're quarantining yourself, but when you come out, wipe down all the surfaces. And so it's just being very cognizant and conscious. And this is to the point of, is today the day you want to run out to Costco and Sam's Club? No, that time has passed. What I want you to look at what's in your pantries. One of the things that we as Americans and a lot of first, world countries, we have more than enough, and we often have a stockpile of stuff already. So just assess what you have, assess what's in your medicine cabinets, assess what, your everyday use items are. And as I mentioned yesterday, I had a friend who called me, one of my bridesmaids. I think it was Thursday night, we were talking, and she was like, I'm in panic mode. I'm sitting in the parking lot of Publix, the local supermarket. And she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to get. And she was having the anxiety. There's this anxiety of the unknown. And thanks everybody for commenting. I'm reading them as they come through. Send me questions and I'll go through those as well. She was like, I don't know what to do. And I said, Ray, okay, we're Floridians. We grew up in Florida. We have survived hurricanes. Treat it like a hurricane. And she was like, yeah, okay, I've got this. And for many of us, West Coast, you guys have dealt with earthquakes, and we have earthquake preparedness, and it's now moving, into other areas, tornadoes, hurricanes, all of these things that we kind of prepare for, flooding. These are things we do this seasonally. So this is going to be unlike, this will be like those situations. It's unlike that in that this is a global pandemic. We don't have enough people tested. We don't have enough test kit access. And we could approach extreme strain on our healthcare system, unlike anything we've ever seen. So social distancing, going back to my message for today, social distancing is my message. Minimize, restrict, stop and halt all the activities where you're going to be in a public setting. And this goes not just for the 16 to 18% of you who are immunocompromised, cancer survivors, cancer thrivers, individuals with COPD, asthma, restricted lung breathing. This is for folks with autoimmunity. And it's for us who fall in the category of you're okay. Children included, and adults, younger adults that are okay health-wise, don't have high blood pressure, don't have diabetes, don't have any type of heart disease, don't have any type of kidney-related disease. We could be the carriers to make our friends and family members ill and sick. I hope that makes sense, because this is our duty. This is our responsibility. I'm getting on a little bit of a soapbox. I'm getting on what people might say the high horse, but the reality is this is what we need to do to stop this pandemic from destroying our healthcare system and the lives of Americans. We're seeing it, and I've got friends here on YouTube from Australia, and Stafford Mitchell's on Australia, and he's like, it's a shit show in Australia. Colin in Great Britain, things are getting worse. Smokers are at risk. If you are a smoker, your lung capacity is limited because of all the toxicity. I am planning on shooting a video, and maybe it'll go live. I don't know. It's kind of, everything's mobile. We're fluid, friends. This stuff is growing and changing by the minute. Last night, there were 59 dead in the US. This morning, there's 60. We lost an American. Okay, this is a crisis. And it's a crisis of global proportions, but it's also a crisis of individual choices. We need to make smart, healthy choices for ourselves and each other. So if you fall in the category of you're okay, like I feel fine, I should be okay, I might have cold and flu symptoms. That is not the reason for me to be out and about. Because if I'm out and about, and let's say I catch something and I go out and about in 5 or 7 days and I've got active viral invasion and not aware of it and asymptomatic, I could infect somebody else who might be immunocompromised. And so as a practitioner, I'm not holding clinical hours in my Sandy Springs clinic. So I have a clinic I work out of. I have halted all operations. We were rescheduling folks indefinitely. I don't know how long that's going to last. My schedule's changing. I'm taking everything online. I'm coming to you guys every morning at 9 a.m. And that is a minor sacrifice for the greater good. We have to make minor sacrifices today, starting right now, with our activity, our scheduling to benefit the greater good. And that's beyond toilet paper, and that is beyond, and I know everybody's panicked about toilet paper. It's psychological, right? You see these reports on the news, and really try and limit your news contact as much as you can. It's stressful, and stress reduces your immune system. So that's the one thing I want to communicate, is just be very, very selective, decisive and selective with where you're getting your information, and be very cognizant of your activity levels. Now, am I saying stay hunkered down in your, I had a little message come through. Am I saying stay hunkered down and be in your house all day? No, I'm not. Like Gabriel was outside, which was awesome for like 7 or 8 hours yesterday. Like we moved around plants in our backyard. I'm doing some landscaping things on my to-do list that I just haven't had a chance to. I was, planting some peony bulbs. This is like in memory of the wedding. So, doing some therapeutic stuff, but I'm outside, and it's really, really key. So we've got somebody on Instagram from the Netherlands, friends over here. They're here in the Netherlands. The current death rate is 20. Any death rate is too many. 20 is too many. In the US, we have 60 deaths. I'm going to run down the update and status of the hardest hit cities and hardest hit states. So message down below, let me know what state you're in. And I want to drill down into the states. If you are in these states, hunker down, limit your activity, social distancing. Okay, let me take a quick little swig of my coffee. I love coffee. Coffee, it's very calming for me, especially good Cuban coffee. And I just want to share with everybody, this is not a commercial, but I use collagen creamer on top of my coffee. So I don't know if you can see this for YouTube. This is really good. It's got MCT. It's got grass-fed butter and collagen. I love it. And, I'm all about the collagen. I've been pumping up the collagen for the wedding, so I'm going to continue my collagen intake for the next 13 months is when we postpone the wedding for. And you guys might hear the dogs barking a little bit. Apparently an Amazon shipment is heading our way 10 blocks away. Okay, so let me give you numbers. New York State, they're at 421 known cases. They are supposedly getting more tests, and I think they've organized 1 or 2 drive-through locations. Washington State is our heaviest hit state at 568 cases. California, we have 282. I don't know how many of the 282 are included with the cruise ship that was docked off the coast. Massachusetts is ratcheting up. That's where I went to school. That's where I lived for a few years. They're at 123 cases. I pulled Georgia because that's where I live. That's where a lot of our Instagram followers, a lot of my friends, my gym friends, my social neighborhood friends. Hi, guys. Love you. Stay put. Don't go around anywhere. Let's keep our community safe. So Georgia's at 42 cases. Florida has really gone up. I'm even trying to look at my cases yesterday in Florida. Let's see. They had 3 deaths yesterday. I didn't get the deaths today. But that's too many. So where there's 50, this could easily move to 500. I mean, it is that type of mobile process. And I will tell you, having had to do everything with our wedding on Friday and dealing with our different vendors, my initial sense on even all last week, but for sure Friday, was that Sarasota, that area, was not feeling it quite like we were in Atlanta. And even one of our friend who's our officiant, or will be our officiant, her boyfriend is in the movie business. And in Atlanta, just north of here, there's a lot of movie production. He was actually filming a 3 series, he was in 3 episodes. And so I think they wrapped early. He's supposed to be leaving Monday or Tuesday. And she was like, he's nervous with everything that's going on, that maybe Atlanta airport would be shut down. And we were looking at making plans of him joining us on our drive down to Florida for our wedding. But that has since gone south. So what my message is, and then I'll go into some things that I highlighted yesterday that I think is important to note. And then I'll take a ton of your questions. And then I've got to get breakfast on here with our family. Gabriel's watching Blaze and AJ on TV before we do art projects. So the major message today is to really, really wipe away the cobwebs, wipe away the rose-colored glasses, and know that even though you can't see it, and it might not be personally touching you, this global pandemic is an emergent situation. And it might not be emergent for you. You might be healthy and you might be fine, but the reality is that individuals that you interact with and you interface with, and even people you don't even know if you're out shopping, it could be risky for them. It could be life-threatening for them. Like just the act of going to the store to get food might end up being a life-threatening act. And that's something that's hard to conceptualize because we can't see it, we can't touch it. There's this sense of looming fear. It feels, I don't know if you guys are like this, and comment below if this resonates, but it it feels like there's this it feels like it's this doom, like this impending cloud of darkness. You can't feel it and you can't see it. Sorry, I've got to manage one of the comments. We've got somebody going crazy on here. Let's see. Okay, I put somebody in timeout. Sorry, we had some spamming on YouTube. Apparently you can put commenters in timeout. I didn't know that. Hi, sweetheart. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? You want to come say hi? Yeah, Gabriel's going to come say hi to you guys. So at the end of the day, children, it's not risky. Here, come here, honey. Come say hi to everybody. Children definitely are not at risk per se of having life-threatening symptoms. Don't get on the phone, honey, okay? Mommy's on a live show, okay? Okay.
I want to see.
All right. So this is fun. This is real world. We are all going to be dealing with this. For all of us who have kids who are at home and you're working, we're just going to have to go with flow. So you might hear him. He likes to play with the office phone I have over there. So at any rate, social distancing. And I wrote down some things to note. One, social distancing means you don't have to go to church today. A lot of churches have virtual settings. So go online. Okay, do you want to go take those and put them on your desk? Okay, will you cut up a picture for mommy? Thanks, sweetie.
Yeah, after I this.
Okay. So church services, a lot of churches have closed or they're offering virtual services. That's one thing you can do today. If kids are having social play dates, cancel those. That is where I'm seeing and getting a sense of some nervousness, like younger families and kids. Oh, kids are fine. And you know what, we need to halt all those activities. Hold on one second. Gabriel, you can't do that while mommy's on the live. Come over here. Come sit with me and let's talk to everybody. Come here. I'll let you touch my keyboard. Come here. So that's really big. So social distancing is something I want you to be cognizant of. Online ordering. We can order online. Instacart. I'm old school. I like to write notes. I like to see and meet people face to face, even though I'm in this weird digital world. But I literally am old school. I like to go in. I like to look around. I like to touch and feel and shop and buy and check out and put bags in my car and take bags home. And that is not what we should be doing now. We should be ordering things online. I am now letting my Amazon packages sit outside for 24 hours. The virus is live on cardboard for up to 24 hours. That's something to think about, friends. Instacart is now an app I installed last night on my phone, and I placed an order. We did a small order to, I got contact solution from Target, and I got some items from Sprouts, and then Aldi. I went on to Aldi, and it definitely is something. It's a different mindset, but the reality is we're just kind of staying in. And Brian has Gabriel, hang up, please. He has some autoimmunity where his body attacks his platelets if he has any type of immune response. And that is autoimmunity. Here, come sit on my lap, honey. All right, so Gabriel's gonna come join me. Come here. His shirt's on backwards. Here, come here. You want to say hi to everybody?
What did
say?
You
Hi,
say?
Everybody. Say, look right there. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
What did you say I had to touch?
You can, here, why don't you play with mommy's credit card? Okay. All right. Here, hold it this way so they don't see my numbers. So anyway, that's really what my message is for all of you, is to really stay close to home. And I see some messages. Gina Cruz, can you use Lysol on the packages? Yes, you can. I actually wipe them down as well. So unfortunately, because of the
Mama, can I make medicine back?
In 1 minute. In 1 minute. Here, will you draw on here?
Okay.
Okay. One of the things that
Yeah.
thank you, sweetheart. One of the things that I did, and yesterday we had all these welcome. Here, just right on. Yeah, I had the welcome bags for our wedding. Those came in, and then a whole bunch of items inside, all natural health stuff that I'm going to use anyway. I let it sit outside for a few hours. Then when we brought it in, before I brought it in, I wiped it down with. I have these Dicide wipes. They're my professional grade medical wipes. So you can do that. William VK, it stays on surfaces for 9 days. Definitely get that right. Well, certain surfaces. So there's different studies. Cardboard is the shorter span. I'm seeing 2 and 3 days on certain metal and plastics. but you definitely want to, wipe the surfaces of anything you're touching. So Knight Shining Armor, hi there. So good to see you. Thanks for joining me live. I stocked up early so I don't have to go out for anything, just going to supermarket to see how the food supply is. It's not good. And that's the thing. So one of the things.
Mom.
Yes.
Not my medicine.
Can you do what?
My medicine.
Your medicine? Here, can I show everybody the oil that we've been using? Remember in your room? One of the things, monitor social media, Facebook groups. Like I was looking at some of our local, like the Roswell in our area. We live in Roswell, Georgia, and there's a Roswell moms group, and they're like posting, like they're the ones that are going out.
I want this medicine.
What medicine? Oh, okay. You want your elderberry? Okay. They're the ones that are going out. Here you go, honey. Will you go watch Blaze Nature, please? Okay. Check on Daisy for mommy, please.
You got
Thanks,
it.
Sweetheart. Okay, back to regular programming.
Okay.
Go check on her.
Daisy.
Okay, you make sure she doesn't come in here.
Okay.
Thanks, sweetie.
Okay.
Will you close the door too?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So one of the things I was monitoring, people were posting, even in Tampa, I'm still on those mom groups. People were posting like they're in line at the grocery stores, and they're like this, took a little snapshot with a phone, posted it, and said, "Oh, all produce is out." So you don't even have to necessarily be the investigator. You can go online. And I would much rather you guys be safe and connect on this. This is something that I was thinking about the other day when Brian and I, like 2 days ago, when everything was crashing. I'm like, with the wedding, we could quickly turn this around. Like I was sending emails and I'm on the phone and he was on the phone, and like we're messaging and texting our friends, and we have digital technology that now can work to our advantage. In 1919, when we had the big, pandemic epidemic there, 100 plus years ago, they didn't have access to all the digital resources. So we don't have to be out and about. We can use technology to still function. We can still use technology to connect with people. We can still use technology and online internet. That's not going down. That's not impacted by this virus. We can still function and live and be productive individuals. And so that's what I'm going to encourage you to. If you aren't in the social world, and I understand why people aren't, this might be a good time to at least just get in and assess and monitor, what all is going on. And it's a communal opportunity. Like all of you tuning in, we have about 180 here on YouTube and 19 on Instagram. So we've got about 200 people. You guys can interface with each other. You can message and comment on each other. And I'm seeing people tagging them and saying, Tracy 315 says to Catherine, just listen to your mom. She will keep you safe. We are together. We're in this together. And so that will be always my message. I'm going to try and give you a lot of information, tips and resources. Hopefully I'm a little bit of a canary in this whole situation of being an alarmist. It was one of the first videos out on YouTube about how we should be preparing ourselves. So, go online, start ordering whatever you need to order, but first assess what you have. So, okay, so we got some questions. The real Charlie Orange, what about clothes? So that's a good question. Okay, thanks, honey. Thank you for the report. Daisy, our dog, the puppy, is not coming in. She'd be up here hanging out with me. So as far as it staying on clothes, I haven't seen a specific research on that. Now I'm going to notate that. That will be an update for tomorrow morning about the surface. I'm writing that down to my surface, time, clothing being one of them. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I do know, this is what we do know. Is it airborne? No, but there are particles, and it comes out in air, particles, mucus. Oh, we got a live super chat. Thanks, you guys. Oh, I forgot to say the chat's on. Oh, Tracy offered $9.99. Thank you. Appreciate that. Totally grateful. One of the things that we do know is that particles in a sneeze or a cough are emitted into the air. You have to come into contact with that. So what they're saying is be 6 feet away from people, and don't touch hands, so no touching, no hugging, no kissing, that's too much of a, so we're going to start to evaluate our personal space 6 feet away. And I know physicians already that are implementing this. let's see. Oh, good. The physicians are already implementing this protocol, but 6 feet away is where you want to be in engaging with people. But those particles, if it touches your hand or an area as stays live on a surface and you touch it, and now you touch your nose, you touch your eyes, you touch your mouth, that's your transmission process. And if you guys aren't on Instagram, YouTube, and Instagram, check out my stories. We are posting informational, educational stories, and we're doing a little movie kind of animated profile. Ella, my super assistant in the Philippines, she's on lockdown too. She is posting these for me, and we're trying to update you with key information to think about. And we actually put on like, what surfaces do you want to avoid? I mean, we're talking like keypads, door handles, the toilet handles, things that we don't always think about, even the handles, of washing your hands. There was a report Friday, I think it came out Wednesday or Thursday, I read it Friday, about the fecal oral transfer of this, because that's something that's being studied in China, and there does seem to be a fecal oral connection. That's like a whole nother hysteria of like public restrooms. And, so again, you are safest in your home environment, limiting your engagement and interaction with people at this point. It is going to be a pain in the butt. I get it. But it's better. The question we have to ask ourselves is, do we want to be in Italy? And we had friends and participants on our YouTube live yesterday that were in Italy, saying that they have armed military outside and they are arresting people who are violating quarantine. Do we want to get in that situation here in the US? Do we want to see that in Australia for our friends? Do we want to see that in Ghana? Do we want to see that in any of the other countries that are dealing with this? This is global. But to the extent we can limit that, happens today. It happens with each of us in our actions, in our activity. So give me a thumbs up. Is everybody in agreement with that? And I want to know, what are you canceling? What are you doing today? Comment down below. Let's really rally and support ourselves in encouraging each other to be limited in our social interaction, because this is our digital interaction, and this, unfortunately, will be how we're engaging with each other moving forward. And so I can't see you, but you can see me, and I'm very excited to be able to impart, hopefully, some resources and information and encouragement to sacrifice now for limiting this pandemic being a massive crisis to our healthcare system. Because unfortunately, friends, the US, we are not ready. We're not ready. We are not ready. And one of my cousins who would be coming to our wedding, we continued it on Friday, she is a nurse, and in her hospital, they have 2 cases. They had 2 nurses who refused to even, they were like, we don't want to treat any cases. We don't want to do any testing. We don't want to be around people who might have coronavirus. Now that's kind of interesting, because they signed up to be nurses. They take an oath of commitment to healthcare. Clearly, those 2 individuals are not the best suited, and they were fired. That's crazy. Okay, my coffee's so good. Seek to Inspire Church is canceled. School has been canceled. They picked up their college son. They're doing online church. Excellent. I love it. Okay. All right. Love this. I'm showing all comments. You're welcome, everybody. This is really, really serious. And school closings is just a minor snapshot of what's going to happen next. Yesterday, I reported Brian works for, I think, a Fortune 50 or Fortune 100 company, massive company based here in Atlanta. I'm not going to name their name, but they have not, as of this morning, or at least last night when he was up and awake, they have not communicated what their plan of attack. What's their plan to keep their employees safe? Most everybody has laptops like I do. Most everybody, everything's built in. We have online access. You can do WebEx and things like that. And the reality is that companies, if companies aren't not swift and decisive, and if you're an owner, if you're an executive watching, make swift, decisive actions. You and your employees and the employees' communities will be healthier because of it. And if you are feeling like you're in a work situation where you're not face-to-face, and I'm thinking about, my Instacart person, my Instacart person that's going to deliver our stuff is shopping, and they might be shopping for all of us. But if it's one person shopping for all of us, it limits the contact. And I hope for them that they're preparing themselves and doing all the things necessary to keep themselves safe. But employers, we can't rely on them. We cannot, unfortunately, friends, and I hate saying this, we can't rely on our employers to take care of ourselves or put our safety first. Because the other thing that's happening is this looming potential recession, and the economics of it are freaking everybody out on top of everything, which then causes more stress and immune response decrease, or a decrease in our immune connection. And the immune system decreases when we have the response, the cortisol, adrenaline, all of that increase. The immune system gets minimized. So we can't rely on companies to say, work from home, friends. And it might be something where you just have to be bold and say, and be honest, like if you're immunocompromised or anybody in your sphere is immunocompromised, tell them, because that's a liability. This global pandemic, we have a national state of emergency because of this. I mean, that was what for us was there were several tipping points for us with our wedding. One of them was, the groom's parents were not going to attend. You can't have a wedding like that. And other family members were not going to attend, and others who were going to show up were going to be compromised. And in this world and the healthcare side that I'm in, I can't sit well with myself knowing that I'm putting people at risk. It's just not okay. And so that is what gets me torn up more so than having to cancel our wedding. And we have to be really serious, friends. We have an onus, not just to ourselves, to each other, because we're in it together. This is a global pandemic, and our actions will save others, and it will keep each other safe. So how is it with going? Okay, so this is a question. These are great questions. So how is it with going to a park without play and equipment and staying several feet from others? Wondering to what extent any social distancing do you already say? I haven't said that, but that's a good question. So like, for instance, Gabriel we have a little park, like we're on a cul-de-sac, and we kind of walk down, and then we have our like pool and community center where there's a playground. So that playground itself, there's definitely could be coronavirus, because kids, mucus, breathing, it's metal. But if we were to walk our dog, Mizuki, the one who we had to take to the emergency vet Thursday night because the idiots Tuesday morning ate trash and it wrecked her digestive system, we're taking her on walks and we're monitoring her digestive process. We can take her on a walk, we can go past that, but we're not in any contact. It is the contact to contact. So person, mucus contact, cough, sneeze, that sits on a surface. And then another person sits, touches, whatever. And then now there's transmission, and then they touch their eyes, their nose, and their mouth. That's that process. So if you're limiting that in social distancing, not touching hands, elbow bumping, but really 6 feet away, and limiting surface touching. So let's look back on that in terms of restaurants. Do you go sit at a restaurant? Well, a lot of people have sat at the restaurant. There's a lot of surfaces to be cleaned. Do we necessarily know if the restaurant is using the right cleaning materials? Are they killing the virus? Are they touching all aspects of, everything that's been touched? Even we're seeing, like, my favorite local coffee shop. I go there and get this really awesome, it's like a passion fruit tea, and it's super purple, and I always get it in a little cup, and it's, not disposable. They're not doing that anymore. Even Starbucks, I ran through the other day and I saw the little sign. Those surfaces, those are being greatly limited. But I can tell you, not all restaurants are doing that. Some don't have supplies to give you plastic forks. Some don't have the access points economically, or even access level. So those are things just to be really cognizant of in terms of that connection. So seek to inspire. Son works at a restaurant and it is open. Daughter works at bank and it is open. Worried because they have to work. Yes, I totally get it. I went into the bank on Friday. Was it Friday? No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday. Thursday was when I did my little hauling adventures. I ran to Aldi and I ran to Sprouts, and then I ran to the bank and I grabbed money. I grabbed cash, primarily because we were planning a wedding and I needed money for tips. Now that's going to be the cash emergency if we need cash, because cash is going to be something that we may need, and it's always good to have on hand. So in that running around, I thought at the bank, I was talking with them about one of my accounts, and the teller went to shake my hand. I was like, no, sorry, I'm not shaking hands. And I was shocked because of the bank, like they're engaging with a lot of people. They had, little Purell stations at the teller, and I Purelled everything. I have my my medical quality wipes, and I have that in my car. Like I have a little cleaning station set up in my car. It's a little plastic bin, and I've got my Dicide wipes. I've got my wet wipes. I've got my kiddo, cleaning mouth wipes. I was unfortunately not able to grab any Purells or any hand sanitizers except for this one. This was in my travel bag, but last week at Sprouts, they put out a whole bunch of these, and they were in the kind of spray thing. I should have grabbed like 10 of them, but I only grabbed one because I was, like everybody, not in denial, but I just didn't think things would move this fast. And I was going to be traveling to Vegas, and I'm like, I'm going to stock up and get stuff. And that just didn't happen. So, yeah. So let me answer some questions. We'll go with that. And then we'll wrap this. So we have a lot of questions. So stay tuned. If you have questions, comment down below, share, communicate this to Facebook, tweet it out, please. I'm grateful for all of you. I can't even believe we have so many on a Sunday morning, but I guess we're all hanging out together. So, and again, Tracy 315, thank you for the super chat. YouTube super chat is on. You can make donations. It's not obviously necessary, but it's so appreciated. Okay, so let me go back to some early questions here on YouTube. Let me just do some shouts out. Hi, Catherine. Does singing happy birthday help the coronavirus? I wish. Miss Lama, that's actually true. Oh, here's my Amazon. The dogs are going to go crazy. I'm not going out there. Again, I'm going to leave that box. The dogs, you might hear crazy dog barking. So any of you have dogs, actually our neighbor is getting Amazon too. I think everybody's ordering Amazon. Okay. So, let's see. I'm just going through questions. Okay. So we've got Benji Jump. Oh yeah, here he comes. He's going to run up. He's running. He's got packages all for the cul-de-sac. I wish I could turn this over. You might hear his rap music. He was the guy from yesterday. Oh, good. The dogs didn't even bark. I mean, he's like running. He's got his rap music going. I love it. Okay. Benji Jump _8, the gamer official. I'm from Germany, and I don't think that you should panic and stock your food and things up just because there's a pandemic. Well, that's okay for you to think that way. I happen to have 3 people in my family and 3 dogs, and I want to limit my exposure because I don't want to put any of my friends, family, community members, or any of you at risk. And there will be people who think like that. Benji also says, just wash your hands and keep a safe distance from people who are sick in general. That is very true. I think the best approach is to social distance and to stay in your houses and in and around areas. I mean, we're going to go for a car ride later. We're not going to go anywhere outside, but we're going to get out and about the house. So it's not like we're totally restricted. You want to say hi again? Okay, Gabriel's back. All right, I'm just going through all of our comments. What?
These are my 2 scissors.
Your 2 scissors? Okay. Kristen Deal, what about your significant other as far as touching? I'm getting hot. I'm going to take my robe off. That's a very good question. So, as far as like close proximity with our loved ones, that's just something that may very well be avoidable. I mean, look at Tom Hanks and Rita, his wife, are hunkered down in Australia with the coronavirus. That is close proximity. In those cases, if we're affected, if either parties, they're already going to have some transmission. So that's a very, normal kind of scenario. But like that, if we contain, husband and wife, significant other, partners, friends, roommates, we contain them in that space, that transmission's only amongst themselves. But those 2 parties go out, they're not social distancing. And now this one party interfaces with 10 people. Those 10 people then interface with 10 people. I mean, that's like 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000. And like this one person interfaces with a group of 50. And then those 50 people interface with a whole bunch more. that's where social distancing is effective, and that's going to drive this down. So that's really what I'm trying to communicate. And it's not just me. I mean, this is coming down from the World Health Organization. We are unfortunately not seeing the response we need to have here in the US. I think I look at Seattle. I think Seattle was very delayed. Hindsight. Oh, you do? Okay, well, go do that and then call me when you need me, okay? Mommy duty, I might have to wrap up really fast, friends. Call me when you need me, okay? You can keep the door open and I'll listen for you. And then I'll wrap up here, okay? Love you, sweetheart. Okay. All right. So is it true that you can get it in your mouth and wash it down with water so stomach acid will kill it? So that definitely has been something that I've seen a lot about. I mean, obviously, we have the mucosal membrane, we have our saliva, and stomach acid generally does kill some viral and bacterial invasions. That does not limit the immune response, and it also doesn't limit from moving and growing. So this is where, and I've seen a lot of questions about what do we do to boost our immune system? So I'm going to give you some tips, just like I always do every day, and we'll be doing every day. This is what I grabbed last week at Walgreens. This is really, I really like this. It was Guru Nanda. I'll see if we can, I'm sure we can get this online. The ingredients on this, it's clove, tea tree oil, eucalyptus, rosemary, frankincense. I love frankincense, lemon, oregano oil. I've got a diffuser in our house, in our rooms, and it's diffusing this. Essential oil is a good immune booster. Way back in the day, you know, this whole thing about vampires and garlic. Well, garlic is an antiviral. And so the idea of vampires coming about, those were from the plague. Like the plague itself was a vampire. And that I think is what we're kind of approaching. Like there's this vampire, there's this thing coming to get us, and we can't visualize it because right now we don't have enough people being tested to even know who all is being touched by this. But oils, people used to hang up cloves of garlic. That's why they say, you know, garlic against vampires, but also lavender. They would put clove and spices and oils in their food. You can ingest some of the oils. So that is something you can do for your home. Oh, we got another live super chat. Thank you. Who did that? Let's see here. D and KLK. You guys, thank you. $4.99, $10. I'm so grateful. So these oils, oil is a great defense. Start diffusing your oils. The other thing, I don't even have it in here, and I'll post in the video down below on YouTube. I promise I'll post. It took like 4 hours for yesterday's to wrap up so I could edit, but I'll post some really good links to air filters. There are UV air filters you can plug in and clean your air quality at home. One of the things, and you guys may or may not know this, but not only were we planning our wedding, we also had chaos and crisis in our kitchen. Our floor is like a disaster. Half my kitchen is gone. I have no sink, active sink. Our cabinets were pulled out because we had a flood 3 weeks ago, and I was just landed in Melbourne to teach at a class the following day, and Brian's like, oh my God, we've got flooding. So part of that was something like one of the days we were sitting on the couch and it was really sunny, and I could see all these particles, and I was like, oh my God, it's so dirty in here. So that's something that we can clean our air. And I saw Nicole, my wedding planner is on here. Oh, you're welcome. Thieves oil. So yeah, so this oil, really, Thieves is actually, I looked into this. Thieves is a trademark name by one brand, but you're going to see it in a lot of different things. The trick and the one core ingredient that you're going to want to find in an oil is clove. Clove is magical. I love clove. I actually use clove as a spice in my little protein balls that I make and my mommy cookies I make for Gabriel, the raw cookies. Clove is an antiviral, antimicrobial, anti-parasite. Like it will clear out anything that's in the body that's a bad thing. Not in a diarrheal state, but definitely in a situation where you need to have your immune system boosted and you're fighting anything. So this immunity blend has that, and it's so great. So if you guys, I mean, these are things, I have to listen out for Gabriel. I might run and then come back, but we'll see. Are you okay, bud? Okay. One of the things that won't be dropping off the shelves right now are essential oils. So you can grab essential oils, protect your home. I have a little USB car diffuser, and I put a little oil on my car diffuser. So that is something that you think about. Like, I saw some friends here on Instagram. Husband's an officer. How can I avoid him bringing home the virus? Have him diffusing oils in his car. Yes, honey. Okay. All right, you guys, hold on one second. I have to go take care of my little kiddo. Okay, I'm coming. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hold on. And comment in the comments amongst yourselves. Give me 2 minutes. Hold on, honey. Okay. Okay, I'm back, everybody. Sorry. Oh, I didn't lose anybody. Okay. So I'm so grateful for you guys being flexible with me. This is so, I feel like it's so unprofessional, but the reality is that we got to get armed and dangerous. So if you have people who are frontliners, like working in the bank, working at a grocery store, maybe they're doing delivery, Amazon and whatnot, and they are interacting with people, they can diffuse oils in and around them. Like I have a diffuser here in my office where it bubbles water. And I've got diffusers. I got a lot of these, and I'm not from this, and I didn't stockpile from CVS, but or Walgreens. I carry a lot of oils anyway because it's part of my process. You want to come and say hi again? Okay. Just don't make the phone too noisy, okay, buddy? Because mommy's talking to people.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll just make it a little.
Okay. Thanks, Christine. True mommy moment. Seriously, working mommy. So YR, I said, what did she say about clove? Clove is antiviral, antibacterial. It is anti-parasitic. I cook with it. I cook with the spice. So this is something, for instance, like, I came to you guys and said, I'm drinking my coffee with you all. I'm doing my keto coffee where I put my little, this, by the way, I got at TJ Maxx. I love my TJ Maxx hauls. This is a collagen creamer with MCT oil. Has 3 grams of collagen protein. You could throw a little spice, a little clove, a little cinnamon, spice up your coffee or even your yogurt. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yes, please do subscribe, like, share my content. I appreciate that. You can throw a little spice on your coffee or throw it in your, yogurt or your almond milk, but you can start to use these spices. So this is something where when I talked about the plague and how people, used to put up sprigs of lavender and garlic. This is a situation where we can do the same, but we've got spices, we've got access. You can start to incorporate these immune boosters into your everyday diet. And so I love that. Thanks, Michael. Thank you for helping us all over the world. Tracy, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so others see this valuable info. Mislama, I know I'm botching that. I'm sorry. I've gone to have some essential oil while I'm listening. Yay. Okay. You guys are so great. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry, I didn't. Oh, good. Oh, you're typing. He's over at my desk typing. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So one of next time I go live, I'll turn my phone off so it's not disruptive. But one of the things that I also want to communicate is that, our homes, we just don't freak out in terms of, oh my gosh, I need to run to the store. Because at this point, if you can order online and some areas, like I will say, the areas, let me go back to my numbers. The areas where I would not go to stores are going to be areas where there's 20 or more cases. Like if you're in New York, hunker down. If you're in Washington, for sure, hunker down. You're the #1 state that's been impacted. California, hunker down. Massachusetts, Florida, Georgia, hunker down. Don't go out. and minimize your interaction, because the transmission rates are it's exponential and it's hard to conceptualize. Whitney, I haven't talked about colloidal silver, but I totally will. Okay, so one of the things, you guys, Instagram, I'm going to lose you because it only lets me go live for an hour, but I'll pick back up. So when this shuts off in a minute, we'll go live again. So let's talk about colloidal silver. Colloidal silver is awesome, and I'm trying to see. I have my little catalog of.
Mama,
Yes, sweetheart.
Let anybody touch what I am doing.
Okay, sweetheart. I don't have colloidal silver over here with me, but colloidal silver is very beneficial. It is an immune booster, and you can use it every day. So the question was colloidal silver specifically. Specifically, are you using it every day, and how? Yes.
Mama,
Yes.
Oh,
you want? Okay, here, come here. We're gonna put on his PJ Masks watch. Isn't this cool? You want to show everybody your watch? Do you remember how you got this?
No.
It's for your birthday from one of your friends. Okay, so colloidal silver, there's a few different delivery methods. There are sprays, there are drops, and I'm gonna.
Oh no, this is the
What
one way.
Okay.
It has to
Here,
go.
hold on. Instagram, I gotta save Instagram. We lost Instagram. Okay, so colloidal silver, there's a lot of different ways. They even have colloidal silver soap, and I actually recommend the soap for any folks that have like any wounds or challenges with their skin. Like a lot of my lymphatic patients that have wounds that we have to manage, or folks that have, I'm bringing Instagram back on.
It's 60.
Hey, Instagram, we're back on. Thanks for tuning in again.
Mama.
If you're back on, give me a like. Tell me where you're tuning in. We're going to talk all about,
Mom,
honey, we're talking about coronavirus, how to equip your body, and I've got a message for you today. Okay. It's 7-6. Okay, perfect. All right. So one of the things about colloidal silver. So we're talking about colloidal silver as a really good way of supporting your immune system. So colloidal silver works in a way where it gets integrated into the cells. And silver itself, we know this because we have sayings like, oh, she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. The silver spoon, and people use silverware and silver cups. That was a way of keeping bacteria away from, I'll tell Gabriel. Gabriel, it's 1:10 a.m. in Australia. Thanks, Night Shining Armor. Okay, so silver is very antibacterial, and it's a very beneficial to our immune system. It helps kind of keep us healthy. And Gabriel, please stop, sweetheart. We can't do that when I'm on, okay? Gabriel,
Oh no.
if you do that again, I'm going to unplug it, okay? Okay. Hold on. Got to unplug. Hold on.
Yeah.
Listen, honey, you can keep playing with that, but why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Okay, here, I'm just, it's still on, okay, but it won't make noise, okay? All right, so call away. You can call anybody you want. Okay, he loves my phone. He's loved my phone since he was little. Okay, yeah, you can push whatever button you want. So colloidal silver, there are a lot of different ways to use it. There are sprays, there are throat sprays. That's beneficial. You do a throat spray. You can gargle with it. So I would do, and I do this, I haven't been doing it right now because I don't have any throat issues, but if I, have the sore throat, or you feel like you're getting throaty, and sore throat's one of the symptoms, as is some, nasal congestion, you can do a throat gargle with a lot of Himalayan salt, add in drops of colloidal silver, and gargle. That's really good. Now, similarly, you can do a mouthwash. Colloidal silver is really good for folks that have gingivitis or any type of oral cavity bacteria or infection in the mouth. So that is definitely one of the things that can be a factor that you can use. You can also use colloidal silver sprays. They have sprays you can up in the nasal passages, so you can protect the cells in your nose. You can also do neti potting. So you can put silver drops in your neti pot. They have soap. You can apply it topically. About a month ago, I had that one mole removed that came back with suspect tissue. I used a colloidal silver salve on that. So there's a lot of different ways to use it. I'm not using it right now, but you can, and it can be something if you are if any of you are in New York, Washington, California, Massachusetts, or any states like Florida and Georgia that are ramping up, it's not a bad idea, and you are going to have exposure. So for instance, on our last live on Instagram, we had somebody say that their husband is a police officer. Well, he's engaging with the public all the time, and frontliners are first line responders. You know, my friend who's an ER doctor, we have folks that can utilize this, and that's a good method to keep themselves safe. Yes, honey?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put.
Okay.
I'm gonna build something on that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna buy it.
You're gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the phone.
Okay. You're gonna buy it with phone.
People?
Okay, you're gonna call
And
people.
so-
Okay.
What button is tall people?
The big round button. Okay. All right. All right. So sip and see with Kai. I hope they said that. Yeah, that button. Do you think taking a tablespoon of certain oils would help the body fight off the effects, coating the lungs, etc.? Hemp, castor. Okay, so I would say this: castor oil. I don't recommend castor oil internally, but I think yesterday I mentioned poultices that you can do on your lungs and open up your bronchioles and support, minimize some fibrosis. This might be good for the individual. Yes, our viewer in the Great Britain. I think Colin, you had asked about smokers.
Mama, when I push it doesn't help.
Okay. Here, will you show Daddy what you've been doing? Do you want to do? Yeah. Okay. Brian's up. Can you close the door, please, sweetheart? Brian, can you close the door? Thank you. Okay, so I might be doing, if you guys want me to do this, I was thinking about doing a video, a castor oil packing, lung clearing kind of video, because the focus here in that video would be focus for those folks that are in that compromised state, lung capacity, asthma, immunity, all of that. Queen Esther, I have a driving trip from New York to Florida. I'm not sure if I should cancel. I would cancel. So you being in New York, there's a possibility you're going to need to get gas along the way. You might be stopping. I wouldn't do it. That would be my recommendation. Social distancing. That's my message today. When in doubt, and if it kind of think, and here's the other thing, like I started my whole kind of thing, I was ratcheted up early because we were going to be leaving town on Tuesday for our wedding. And I started thinking, oh my gosh, if things start to get really progressive, I thought next week would be where we would be. We're at today, right now today, we're at where I thought we would be next week. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to have some food available because our kitchen is like destroyed, and I've been shopping amongst my pantry, and I was starting to clean out our freezer because we'd have to move our fridge. So I went and got and stocked up. I also stocked up on stuff because I was supposed to travel. And when we were going to be down in Florida, I wanted to have immune boosters for us and Gabriel in the event, that it's just the mom thing. Like you just stock up. In the event of crisis, moms are prepared. I've got one of those bags that is endless, and I have everything you need in my bag. So that's kind of my operation, my MO anyway. So that is why I started to kind of do my stock up before I think most people did, and why we're in hunker down mode. Okay, so Night Shining Armor. Doc, does transmission for smokers have anything to do with smokers touching their lips every time they take a drag? It could, very absolutely. I mean, what we're saying, and who knows what you touched, but yeah, every time you touch your lips or your mouth, there's definitely a transmission point for sure. So, and I don't know. I haven't seen this, and I'm curious. Are you asking because are there any stats that there are more smokers that have either died of this or have been diagnosed with it? That's, there's just a lot of data and a lot of information we don't know. Like we don't know everything I wish we would know about this, but we're learning, and every day there's more and more information. Unfortunately, more and more stats, more and more deaths. And this is the point today: social distancing, limiting your outreach, limiting going out, limiting being in groups. Kids as well, limiting play groups, limiting the engagement, because where there are kids or adults, where there are adults, there's definitely a possibility. I mean, we were seeing folks at 32 and 45 that have been hospitalized and have the lung cellular changes. So that's really, really big, because you kind of think like, well, I'm not in that category. You might not be, but a friend of yours might be, your neighbor, your family. We have to really get very safe and hunker down. Okay. Okay, so I am going to look at some more questions here. Oh, knight in shining armor. Fate has been kind to me recently. This is the longest time I've been off work on vacation. With all this time on my hands, I've been able to keep to date on Corona. That's good. Thank you, Aussie. You're welcome, Augustina. Helly, hi. Finland. How are things in Finland? Comment, let us know. Okay, Gloria asks, what about coconut oil? Love coconut oil. So coconut oil is naturally kind of antiviral. I cook with it. I use it on my skin. I do oil pulling. And that's another thing. Let's talk about oil pulling to the point of coconut oil. Oil pulling can be highly beneficial at eradicating bacteria and potentially viral activity in the mouth. So let's say you can't avoid being in public. You're a bank teller. You work at a grocery store. You're interfacing with people. There are a lot of schools that have closed, but there are a lot of schools that haven't. So you might be interfacing with a lot of children. Oil pulling would not be a bad idea to do after you come home, or even there, if you have the ability, oil pull. And what it is it's grabbing some coconut oil, scoop of it, putting it in your mouth and swishing. And that swish, it's great for gums. Like if you want to whiten your teeth, you want to get really nice, healthy gums, maybe even lower your plaque levels. This coconut oil is very good for that. But coconut oil also is going to clear and purify your mouth in terms of limiting any of the viral, exposure. Now I say that I don't have data and I don't have statistics and there's no research on coconut oil pulling and coronavirus. There's not going to be a lot of statistics on coronavirus and what we recommend. We're going to treat it like a cold and flu in terms of what, as a naturopath, we're treating it like the high level, highly aggressive cold and flu for particularly compromised individuals. We treat it like that. And all the kind of precautionary measures you take with cold and flu, you want to do with coronavirus. This one happens to be at a higher scale because we've got public transmission rates that are increasing. We've got limited testing. And unlike particularly with the flu, we don't have anti-flu medicine. We don't have a vaccine. So if you get the flu, there are measures that medical providers can take to keep you safe. We just don't have that in this category. And we probably won't for a year or more. And again, that's another reason why we pushed our wedding out 13 months to get our vendors and to get the venue is so beautiful and so wonderful. It's booked, 14 to 6 months out, but also we pushed it out so that we could get through this. And, this could come back around in the fall. And some of the viewers watching on the replay may very well be watching in the fall and there's an outbreak again. Who knows? But that's kind of how naturopathically we're addressing this and approaching it. Okay, so, I've got somebody watching Creepy Old Pervert. I'm watching your live stream from inside the Greyhound bus station restroom toilet stall because I get free Wi-Fi here. Oh, that's an interesting location. Okay, so, all right, and cleaning. You definitely want to be cognizant if you are in a public setting, clean your workspaces. If you've got meetings, clean before and after engaging with people. You just want to be really, really cognizant of just these factors, cleaning surfaces. So tomorrow, my commitment on our live, we're going to go live again at 9 a.m. because that's what I'm committed to doing. The surface transit time, I'm going to get the specifics on that. So I'll list that out. I can even put in a little PDF and you can download that super easy. Oh, speaking of, sorry, I'm still waking up. I have this free checklist. So I don't know if you guys grabbed this yesterday. Let's see everybody. This is a free checklist I put together 12 days ago for the video I had that came out about coronavirus updates. And in it, I've got a ton of info. This I need to update a little bit in terms of the death rate. I don't know where the death rate is, if it's gone up or not. That printed weird. my full script store, I have an online store. Again, online ordering is where we really want to take our purchasing now because of the social distancing and limiting. But I got a list of items. All of these are linked so you can grab the individual. I will say that our full script store is definitely getting rocked. And so we've got more stuff coming. Today, later on today, I'm going to gather what I've got available. I'm going to post an email out to the folks that download this. So make sure you download this. It's free. All I need, just log in your email, your name or your email, and you'll get access to this. It gets emailed to you. So wait a minute or two, you get an email and there's a little link to click it. I have had complaints. Apparently Safari, your web browser, may or may not allow you downloading this. I don't know. But there are links, access links. These are great links. They're all linkable. And then I also have home care, protecting yourself, the key factors, but home care. So air filters are going to be key, salt lamps, things like that. So do download that. It is free. YouTube, there's a link in the description box below. So totally free. Daniela D, my uncle is supposed to travel back home to Italy. He flies into Rome. Do you recommend he stays or goes home to quarantine? I recommend he stays. I mean, honestly, I would not be traveling into a war zone. And that's really what it's like out there. Do we have anybody in Italy watching? Comment down below, let us know. We had one commenter on yesterday's video, very scary, with a lot of stuff. So anyway, this is really big in terms of just grabbing this download. Okay, so grandmother uses colloidal silver and a nebulizer. Yeah, I love the nebulizer. Okay, when she thinks let's see. My grandmother uses colloidal silver and a nebulizer when she thinks she's been exposed to a virus. What do you think? This is a preventative. Yes, I love it. I actually spoke yesterday when my grandma was, in her last days of life. She was dealing with a really bad case of pneumonia, and I didn't know how to do it in the hospital setting, but I would have put colloidal silver in her nebulizer. I think it's so wonderful. Let's see. Michelle Ramsden, I just read that a group of men died in Italy that had been taking anti-inflammatory ibuprofen. Have you heard of this? I haven't. Ibuprofen's not always great. Like white willow bark's better. CBD. So I actually am going to be shooting a CBD video for the one CBD brand that I worked a lot with and presented to all of you, particularly on YouTube. And then YouTube went on their clampdown and no CBD videos are allowed. There's great research on that and antiviral, antibacterial properties. So I'll be posting that into my email community. So again, if you guys grab this, you'll get access to that information when it comes out. But the one thing, and I've seen a lot of messages, the one thing, stress is not good for your immune system. And so panicking, here's the deal. Like I told my friend, we're going to treat this like any of the other emergencies we've prepared for. And we've all been through different emergencies. First, assess what you have, then write down the essentials that you need and order online. Don't go out, limit your exposure, limit your, do the social distancing. That's really key. So Lori, Ed also, Mexico's 41 cases, including 15 new today. Yikes, 15 new cases. So CBD is really big. So Ruth had asked if she should cancel her cleaning services. That's a good question. What my kind of perspective personally, I'm going to limit folks coming into our house. Like Gabriel's off school indefinitely. I'm going to be coming to you. Brian's probably going to be working from home, hopefully. And, that's going to be one of these things that we approach with the employer, and he's got a laptop and we really want to hunker down. So in that type of status or state, I want to limit what might be coming into my home, because the key, if you're social distancing and if we need quarantine, your home is a safe setting. So having your, oil diffusing happening, having your salt lamps, having your good UV air filtration, which by the way, you can have anyway. Like we UV treat our air. We have 3 dogs, and then we had this ridiculous water potential mold situation that we were taking care of. When we get our new kitchen, there's going to be a lot of particles that'll be roaming through the air. We have 3 downstairs, 3 air filters. We have a HEPA air filter, but on top of that, like these things, keeping our homes are going to be really safe. So, the challenge here is that cleaning ladies and our local restaurants and all our small business owners are going to take a hit. And that's that economic impact. So it might be something where maybe if it's like a monthly fee, you just say, hey, I'll keep paying you. So we keep her alive and in business and not impact her economically. And you just say, you know what, I'm going to postpone for maybe 3 weeks for your safety and for our safety. And just, you can make up on it, like add a few hours to your cleaning or whatnot, or, give her a list of things like spring cleaning, whatnot. So I hope that helps as far as kind of thinking, strategizing. I mean, that's kind of at a point where I think we need to strategize about how do we live in this situation? Because today is Sunday. Oh, Diane, Will, welcome. Yay, we have a new member to our community. Thanks, Diane. One of the things we have to strategize is how are we going to function in this new, developing, changing world in this current state? Social distancing right now is just recommendations. I'm recommending it. All of the health professionals are recommending it. You're going to see it in media. You might even hear some of your local state government say social distancing. No mandates yet, but we can expect if things don't change and people don't stop going out, we don't stop the explosion of this, and testing will only continue to keep the numbers up because now we actually have quantitative data. You guys know I'm always talking about testing our vitamin D levels and our hormone levels. You have to know, you got to test so you know what you're dealing with. We don't know what we're dealing with in the US. And that is a tragedy of itself. That's like a whole other channel topic. I'm not going to go there, but that's a tragedy. And because of that tragic state, we don't know the unknown. Now we've got to take control. We've got to put ourselves in the driver's seat of being cognizant. Rachel, my husband wants to go out and get a haircut. Yeah, me too. I told him I would learn how to do it on YouTube and do it for him, but he really wants a haircut. That was a fun argument last night. Yeah. So what I'm kind of noticing, and gentlemen, we all love you. I am noticing, this is interesting. I got Gabriel's haircut Thursday at the local haircut place, and the folks, okay, creepy old pervert. I gotta hide you. I'm putting you in timeout. It's just not appropriate commenting here on a Sunday morning. And let's see. Yeah, so you're in timeout. Okay. Highly offensive comments. Sorry, guys. Okay, so as I was saying, what was I saying? Darn it. Let's see. What was I saying? I was saying, sorry, I got totally distracted. Anyway, not quarantining, but limiting our exposure is going to be key because it just is going to start to lower things. So testing, we don't know numbers. Because we don't know numbers, the only way for us to really keep ourselves safe is to be in the social distancing. Stay close to home. Don't go out. Don't put yourself in situations where you're touching. Oh, so haircut. Yeah, this is what I remember. Okay, so the haircut lady, we were talking, and she's like, I'm from Houston. I was like, I'm treating it like a hurricane. She's like, me too. And she's like, I got foodstuffs and all the different things that we would get, canned beans and rice and pasta sauce and whatnot, and stuff to put in your freezer. And she was like, yeah, I had an argument with my husband who said, okay, generally, I'm sorry, this is not a political conversation. Sorry, I've got to do some restricting. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what's happened. Spammers have hit our channel. So all my regular viewers, please comment. Let's get rid of some of these crazy comments. We're talking about health and wellness. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about keeping all of you safe. And I think it's absolutely absurd. People are going to take up space talking about just ridiculous things. So anyway, getting me pissed off. This is about public safety. This is not about politics, people. This is about keeping people safe. And it's about keeping our friends and family safe and not having people die because you're being stupid and making stupid decisions. So anyway, one of the things that I was saying, or was having a chat with the woman in the hair salon, was that she said her husband was like, that's being really ridiculous. You shouldn't be going out and, don't spend your money and we'll be fine. And he literally said something like, well, the government will just drop food in and we'll be okay. Regardless of that, and again, this is not a political conversation, but we have to rely on ourselves. We have to make smart decisions. We have to make decisions that are healthy and smart for our families. And we have to make decisions that are going to be safe for others. We are not island people. We don't live on an island. We all live together. We're in this together. We're a collective whole. And so for YouTube, any commenters that are nasty about any races or religions, or you've got some ridiculous nonsense to talk about, you're going to get deleted. Okay. Forewarning. This channel is to help people. All of you watching who are inspired and who are going to be doing things to keep you and your family safe. That's who I'm here for. I'm not here for morons with some political stupid agenda because I don't see you helping people. Okay. All right, friends. I'm done with that. And I'm done with the ridiculousness. It's time for us to get together and to help each other. And that is what this is all about. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a hearts. Just craziness. Amen, right? Holy cow. I got to take a breath on that one. So going back to, I do feel like some of our family members, spouses, whatnot, might not take us seriously. It's okay. Just do your thing. Don't let them persuade you. Do your thing. Prepare and prep. Women, I think it's in our DNA. I think it happens as women. Like my mommy mode goes in. I start nesting. That's okay, because that is how we're hardwired. Maybe they're hardwired in a different way where, a little bit head in the sand or whatnot. But here's the deal. It is very important that you do what you feel is best. And I give you full authority and permission. If it ensues an argument, it's better to have an argument now than to be in an ICU unit with your spouse or a loved one hooked up to a ventilator, because that's the reality. And that is what we have to be cognizant of. And it's loved ones, family members, people that are in our universe that we need to make sure they are safe. And so again, this is not about politics. And we've got another pervert on here. Again, pervert, you are going to get blocked and I'm going to report you. This is not the place for ridiculousness. Please. What a waste of energy. Okay. So we're blocking some idiots on YouTube, but Instagram's awesome. Hey, Instagram, tell me where you guys are tuning in from. Send me some questions. Sophie's baby 6. I have COPD and have been fighting a cough and chest congestion with allergy season. Yes. What was the chest poultice you recommended? Okay. That's excellent. So this is something I also want to notate. We're in allergy season. Like I was outside earlier and like, oh my gosh, things are blooming. How do you know the difference between allergies and COVID-19? That's a really big question. Let me write that down because that's a really good topic. Hold on. I'll just write this down before I forget. Allergies and COVID-19. Okay. So, the big thing is if we have compromised lung capacity, or you've got radiation of a chest, or, cavity or lung, lobes of the lung removed, or maybe you've got a blood clot in the lung or whatnot. One of the things is that you want to, first of all, if you have asthma, COPD, what I'm recommending, friends, family members, and my patients, you want to call your doctors who give you scripts for nebulizers. You want to have more on hand. Order up your scripts, call in for extras. If you are prone to a progression, get whatever medication you need. Because here's the thing, if we are immunocompromised and you're in a state where you are already kind of congested, coughing, you don't want to be in a state where you have to go to urgent care or you have to go to an ER. If you're able to minimize the extent of you having to have healthcare and you can kind of contain it at home, then that would be a good thing. So that's number one. Number two, air quality at home. Improve your air quality at home. Salt lamp, UV air filters, and I say plural. You definitely want to do that in your room. Diffuse, like yesterday I presented this one. Breathe easy. So let me tell you some of the oils that are good for that. Eucalyptus, peppermint, basil, tea tree, rosemary. You could blend those. You don't have to buy them in a already mixed. You can blend them, diffuse those, breathe those in. That can be helpful for helping. But allergies and then the symptoms, you just have to monitor. The big things are if you have 101 or more temperature, that might be indicator. It also will be, all right, pervert, you're getting reported. Sorry. Graphic language. All right, pervert, you're off my channel. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Okay, we have just sick people. So one of the things that you want to do, air quality. The other thing too is if you have plants, like there are certain plants that are really good for improving air quality that will circulate more oxygen. If you, in your room at home, I would have at night an air filter running, salt lamps on, and diffusing going. That way, when you're breathing and you're sleeping, you're getting some of that clearing. That's going to be helpful. So the poultice, what I was talking about poultice wise is castor oil packing the chest, the lungs. That will be really helpful. It's also good for moving the lymphatics. Shri Devi, I just learned about a salt inhaler. Yes, that's like a salt spa, but at home. And you just kind of inhale it. There's Himalayan salt inside. It's very good for people with respiratory problems. That's a great recommendation. Okay, that's a good idea. I do need to get a moderator. I might have Ella moderate. So that's an excellent recommendation because this is going to happen. Dr. M, are people with arthritis and fibromyalgia at greater risk if you are older? So depending on the type of arthritis, so RA and even fibromyalgia fall into the autoimmune category. There is an aspect where autoimmunity definitely does have some compromising, it does compromise the system. And with autoimmunity, one of the things that is elevated with the COVID-19, it's not the virus, it's the co-infections, it's the pneumonia. We do see CT scans are how it's the definitive measurement of having this virus, and they can see cellular changes in the lung capacity. What happens is that the screening that they use, individuals that are in that higher, the 16, 18% of more severity, they do have compromised immune systems. But also autoimmune systems, when they're dealing with the virus, it heightens that immune response. There's a greater immune attack and it weakens the individual. So what I'm going to write this down too. I want to do a video on immune modulating herbs. Excuse me, immune modulating herbs. That will help modulate the immune system so that the response, the immune ramp up is not so great, that the body is so much attacking itself. The way these deaths are happening, people, the breathing decreases, oxygen levels go down, they have pneumonia. There's this golden triangle with pneumonia. Pneumonia affects the heart and the lungs with the pneumonia and the kidneys. So that's why I say diabetics and folks with heart disease, congestive heart failure, any of the heart kind of challenges, that golden triangle can take people down. One organ affects the other. And when that trio is just compromised, we start to see organ failure. That's the organs start shutting down. The flip side, if the immune system goes so rampant, we can start to see sepsis. And so the deaths themselves, we're at, I'm sure it's moved, unfortunately, but right now we're at 2,955 cases. That was at 850 this morning in the US, 60 deaths. The deaths are from pneumonia, organ failure. And so organ failure could be heart failure, it could be kidney failure, it could be, the lungs just completely being eradicated and changed not eradicated. The cellular changes literally compromise the lungs, or they die of sepsis. So that's that situation. That is why we're saying social distance. Yeah, Perv's gone. Socially distancing yourselves is going to be key because there are people that could have organ failure, and they might not even know it. And there are a lot of people, this is the unfortunate part, there are a lot of people walking around immunocompromised that don't even know it. I mean, let's think about all of you. You guys are really, my communities are really tuned into your health and wellness. You're very tuned into your body. Not everybody is. And then not everybody's being tested for some of these autoimmune factors. Not everybody's seeing a cardiologist. Not everybody is aware that they have heart disease or even that they have diabetes. And pre-diabetics fall into that category. I have to put you in that category. So, insulin resistance, the glucose intolerance, that's the beginning stage of diabetes. You're compromised. Okay, so one of the things that I see is that, all right, we had to get rid of another one. Jeez, craziness. Yeah, colloidal nasal spray is really good too. I see you guys are all communicating. But yeah, so I will make that commitment, allergies and COVID-19 and immunomodulating herbs. That's going to be really key. Sorry, my eyes are bothering me. Okay, let's see. Let me go to some questions. Is glutathione helpful or too hard to absorb? Some homeopathic pros online are recommending. Okay, so that's an excellent question. Glutathione, generally speaking, is very difficult to absorb. It gets completely obliterated by the stomach acids and does not get through to the points that we need. Internal process of glutathione production can occur by doing coffee enemas. We can naturally produce that. It's produced by our liver. So that's one thing. Liposomal glutathione does have a good delivery method. I don't have it here, but I have one in our fridge. I do liposomal glutathione under the tongue. It's like a peppermint flavor, a white little click. And actually, if you go into my Full Script store, we sell it there. It comes refrigerated, or there's like a freezer pack, but we keep it cold. And let's see, we're going to report some more people. Paul, there's not an appropriate place for your comment. This is a family-friendly channel, and you're not going to be a part of my channel, okay? All right, so people, I have to say, like, gosh, it's crazy. I haven't done lives a lot. I'm just shocked by the amount of weirdos out there. Okay. All right, so let's see. Yeah, creepy little pervert. I don't know how you're doing this. Okay. Okay, I'm hiding users. Okay. All right, sorry. I know he's back, Catherine. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Okay. Thanks, you guys. All right. Yeah, go away, perv, totally. All right. So sorry, Instagram. We had some crazy messaging from some inappropriate people. All right. Where was I? Okay. So let me go back to some questions. Instagram, do you guys have any questions? Good morning, Alice Sierra 830. Oh, can holy basil help with cough in the lungs? That's a good question. Holy basil, I love holy basil. Oh, that's good. I'm just going to write down some questions. Okay. I'm just making sure I cover all this. Okay. So one of the things that holy basil does is it's very good. It is good for lungs. It's great for balancing the stress response of the body. So I am drinking coffee right now with my little MCT cream, collagen buttercream stuff. But I usually will do a rhodiola and a holy basil tea in the morning just to kind of lower the stress levels. It's been highly stressful the last few weeks with home and wedding and all this stuff. So holy basil is good for helping support your immune system by lowering your stress response. And that is something, friends, I've seen a lot of commenters, and I love that you guys are so supportive of each other. one of the things we have to do is we have to address our stress levels. If we are all at home and we're away from work, this is a good time to start to implement a yoga practice. YouTube has great yoga instructors and fitness instructors. And I'm going to do a video that is, kind of comprises ideas of things to do at home, like healthy things to do at home during the pandemic and your self-induced or potentially government-imposed quarantine, which could be happening. So if we don't get a handle of this and we stop all of us going out, we need to, we're going to be approaching that. And so holy basil I love for a lot of different reasons. Rami John 04, what can I do to promote lung health? I'm going to do a specific video on that, but one of the things, yes, masks. I'd be wearing masks if you guys have masks, but here's the deal. Before you wear a mask, don't go out. Just don't go out. If you don't have a need, don't go out. Like at the end of the day, let's minimize the exposure, and let's minimize I don't know who this is. Let's minimize your exposure and just the extent of you going out without having to wear a mask. Now, if you are a frontline responder, you're working with the public, we haven't gone out. I haven't seen anybody since Friday in public. So I don't know if Trader Joe's workers are wearing masks. They should be. Anybody interfacing in that type of arena should be wearing masks. But if you don't have to, I would not. Cranberry is not like elderberry. That question was, is cranberry just as good as elderberry? Elderberry is a very good immune booster, but there are alternatives. Like if you have autoimmunity, astragalus. I actually think I have it somewhere around here. Astragalus is a good immune booster. Neem, friends, Ayurveda. Neem is going to be something that is highly beneficial. The neem plant itself wards off viral, bacterial, fungal invasions. So we can move to other resources when we're going to see depletion of a lot of these resources as people really start tuning in. And all of you are getting it before a lot of people are going to be aware. So start to place your orders. Amazon, full script. If you guys, if you download this checklist, you'll get access to just log in, and my full script link is on my website, naturalresources.com. So go check that out. So Lois, Yoga with Adrian on YouTube is really, really good. So I love that recommendation. And I was working out at our Spenga, the Spin Strength Yoga Gym and wedding prep. I've gotten my arms to lift that. I've gotten a lot of muscle. So I'm not going to be doing that for a little while, even though they're great. And they sent out an email about, their cleaning process. They're going to change their times of them having, oh my gosh, this is inappropriate. Hold on, you guys. Report. Spelling out hate language by letter is inappropriate. American white-skinned Christian. Are you absolutely insane? I'm going to report you. All right. Sorry, you guys. It's just absolutely inappropriate. I can't even believe these people have the time. Seriously. Remove. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, Catherine, insane trolls. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be I've got the weights. I did a little routine while Gabriel was in his bath last night. And we all just have to make adaptations. I'm not going to the gym. I definitely, especially here in Georgia, because not a lot of people seem to be taking this seriously. They're out and about. That is really, I don't think those are smart decisions. And so I'm not going to be judgmental, but I just think for the greater good, we should be limiting our exposure. Okay, so Sweet Wit. We live on St. Simons. That's an island for any of you unaware, off of Georgia. And there are a lot of families here for spring break. My 2 daughters work at the popular ice cream store, and the owner has them working every day. How do I address this? So that's a good question. I mean, at the end of the day, first of all, I go into risk assessment. So like the wedding. Who all at home do your daughters interface with it on a daily basis that could be compromised? If there are any people at home, family members, siblings that would be just cause to say, you know what, for the time being, we're not going to have our daughters work. If they're minors, you get executive decision with your children to talk to the employers, and your kids might not like that, but at the end of the day, you're keeping the public safe. The challenge here is, as I mentioned before, we are on the cusp of a possible recession. This is going to be a long-term problem, and small business owners are going to get hit hard. And so, the ice cream shops at the tourist places, like our wedding, the whole wedding industry down in Sarasota, like all of my vendors, I'm not the only bride. We're not the only wedding group that has changed. We just are pushing it out, and everything stays the same. New date. I mean, literally everything's the same flowers, same arrangements. I might even be recycling some of the printing stuff that's coming from Minted and, all this stuff. But the reality is it's not worth it. For us, we were like, we'll take a $5,000 or $6,000 hit if it keeps everybody safe. And if it comes down to children, will they be necessarily risk factors? If they get sick, they'll have a minor like cold flu symptoms. It's not about that. It's about the public good. And so, that vendor, you might, I don't know if you know them, but it might be worthwhile calling and talking to the owners. But we're going to be in a situation where business owners are going to have to start to make decisions. And I really appreciate our gym here. Shout out to Spenga. I don't know if you guys have seen those popping up, but it's a local gym, they're franchise gyms. And I mean, I loved it. They were like out and like saying, okay, here's the deal. These are the cleaning solutions we're using. In that type of setting, you're serving food, okay, and ice cream, and they're engaging with people. So, some shops might say, we're not taking cash anymore. We'll only be taking credit card payment. And that's often hard for some places where they only take cash. The other thing is if you have workers that are in, a situation where they're interfacing with people, can the workers have goggles and masks on? That'd be a protective measure, wearing gloves, changing out the gloves in between guests. So that is something where the decision and onus ultimately is on an owner and managers, but the ultimate decision is on us. And we are either working for these parties or we have friends and family working for these parties. And it pop, salt, and culture, it's going to hit a lot of people hard. And I'm hoping too that it's not long term, but if we don't clamp down right now, it will be worse and it'll have a greater economic impact. So again, when I opened up, I think I'd written down social distancing, and small sacrifices equals saving lives. And that's what it is. This might be a minor sacrifice. You might say, you know what, we need to take a leave. Like we want to limit our children's exposure. You have every right as a parent to make that decision. Your kids might be really upset, but in the long run, you don't know how many people you might positively impact by making that decision. Tammy from Virginia, please look out for the older people who live alone. They will need help and support. Absolutely. As well as, unfortunately, a lot of these children that the only healthy lunch that they get is when they go to school. I am really concerned about those kids. And I don't know, some of the ways that we address this other than sending money directly to charities and groups that cater to those communities, because kids, with all the school closings, it affects them, it affects their scheduling. It also affects their state of mind, their scheduling. So like with Gabriel, we're going to have some specific kind of organized activities. You guys are going to be my 9 a.m. call. It might be an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long, we're on, and we're on almost for an hour and 47 minutes. So, things that are very important. I love this. Dawn C 1701 on YouTube says, keep your fingernails clean. Very, very key. Loading up on ginger. Yes, lemons. That's awesome. Think about things that you want. You want to coat your throat. You want to move your lymphatics. Ginger, turmeric, ginger caps, ginger powder. I got at Trader Joe's, and again, I don't know how heavily rocked Trader Joe's is with you guys. Sorry, I was itching my nose. They have the little frozen things of ginger and garlic. I got those. So I'm like, okay, garlic nut will stay for so long, but freezer, it'll stay longer and I can use that. All right. So sorry, Steve, I'm not going to post your message, but it's not just the flu. Okay. Let's be real. This is not classified as a worldwide pandemic, just being the flu. The death rate at this point is extreme in comparison to the normal flu bug. It's time for people to start to wake up. And Steve, you're one of those individuals. Sorry, YouTubers, I got to address Steve. Steve, you need to wake up and smell the reality of this situation. If you are going to endanger individuals, you're not only endangering your life, but you're affecting everybody else. And those lives are going to be on you. It's an onus to each of ourselves to be healthy and well and to make smart decisions. And I'm sorry. You can curse all you want. Your little comments are being hidden. But you know what? I hope that you don't get it. And I hope to God, none of your family members get it, because how are you going to feel because of your lack of education and opening your ears and listening to statistics and data and science and real truthful information? And I hope to God, Steve, that you're not an individual who is on a ventilator because it has addressed you. And by the looks of your profile picture, you're in an age group or a category where you might be a risky candidate. So I hope you take some measures, and I'm sorry, but you're going to need to wake up because the world is in a pandemic state, and it's time for all of us to come together and wake up. Okay? This is ridiculous. This type of misinformation and false information has got to stop. And I'm going to use this platform to tell you that it's time for you to wake up. And if you're not, just stay in your house. Be a grumpy old man in your own house. You can chat away all you want on YouTube, but I think that is asinine. Oh, God. So anyway, but this is what we're dealing with, friends. There are people out here that still think this is fake, that this is some stupid conspiracy. This is so insane to me. I can't even believe it. And like Catherine said, not only are you putting other people's lives in danger, you're putting your own life, and you have to stop. I mean, for your own greater good, please, individuals, don't go out. We have to get informed. Almost 3,000 people have been diagnosed. And guess what? That's probably the only amount of tests that we have. I mean, the reality is we were told a bunch of lies that there were 75,000 test kits accessible. The United States opted not to take the test kits and order from the World Health Organization. The numbers are going to be staggering once we get the testing kits accessible, and that is terrible. So here's the deal, like radioactive banana, love that title. This has never happened in our lives. None of us have lived through a world pandemic. It is all over the world, and it is spreading. It's moving by boats, it's moving by plane, and it's moving person to person. Each of us can limit our person-to-person contact by social distancing, washing our hands, coughing into the elbow of your sleeve, wearing masks, not touching your eyes, your nose, and your mouth when you go out. It's using protective items like hand sanitizer. It's using good immune boosting, using essential oils, clearing your homes, limiting exposure. And this is a reality, friends. Okay, so this is really key. Heli, she's in Finland. Things are quite okay at the moment, but the worst is just about to come. I don't think people are really realizing this situation besides buying all the toilet paper. Yes, that is what I feel like. And Steve is our representation, friends. Steve is one of probably millions out there that are walking around thinking this is not going to hit them, that this is some bogus idea, and it's some mass media conspiracy. But the reality is you can't message, you can't hide from, and you can't run from a virus because they mutate, and they are unfortunately smarter than us. They are faster than us, and they will impact people we love, people we know, people in our lives. And so it is time for us to wake up. Steve, wake up. It's time for you to get serious. I hope you stay put. I hope you limit your exposure. Just go grumpy old man all you want on YouTube. And I encourage you just to do that. Don't expose your angst to anybody else in the world with your germs, because I really hope that you don't get exposed, and I hope you don't expose people. Okay, there is a lot of ignorance, and I can't handle it. In this world, ignorance will kill. Okay, hashtag ignorance kills. That is the reality. So social distancing, friends, sorry, I don't usually get that fired up, but the reality is that this is time. We have to get fired up. So I'm going to encourage all of you, we have to talk to our friends and family. If I talk to 5 people and go, you know what, I don't think it's a good idea for you guys to be out and about. If we start to do that, we start to have those conversations. This is how we can collectively come together to stop the growth, and we can stop the ignorance. I mean, Steve's going to be ignorant all he wants, but Steve's ignorance will kill people. Steve's ignorance is going to harm people. And I don't want that to be on anybody. I don't want that to be on Steve's conscience, whether or not it affects him or not. So, yeah, Heather says people are over buying toilet paper and other stuff and not caring about other people who are in need and who are in need, not a time to be selfish. That's absolutely true. We are not alone in this, and we are together. So thanks, you guys. Ignorance does kill. All right, Tina Wolf. I'm in a community where there would be children who need food, and that's just heartbreaking. So that's really, really key. Okay, Kathy, I see your questions. I have lymphedema. Am I at risk? So I actually saw this recently because you guys know I do a lot of lymphatic work. I was actually supposed to be in Vegas, and I tried to encourage them to do a WebEx so I wouldn't expose Brian and travel, and that was not an option. So anyway, let's dig into lymphedema and the coronavirus. Lymphedema, because of the lymphatic system and its connection to your immune system, it puts you in a compromised state. And so if you have lymphedema or any lymphatic disorder, or undergoing chemo, radiation, cancer treatment, any immuno-related treatments, I mentioned IgIV or IgIVs with Brian, the immunoglobulin IV therapy. These are individuals who should minimize exposure, minimize your traveling. So one of the things that I think is going to be really key is that you focus on lymphatically moving your lymphatics. All of us. I mean, here's the thing, friends. The best way to support your immune system, keep your gut healthy, minimize your, touching your mucosal membranes and mucosal passages that transmit, and also moving your lymphatics. I have over 45 videos in a playlist that focus on the lymphatic system and moving your lymphatics. So I hope you will check those out. That will be very, very helpful in moving your lymphatics. But, definitely, Kathy, I would be making sure you're wearing your compression garments, you're, drinking your ginger tea, taking turmeric capsules, you're doing the lymph stim that I recommend. If you can't find it, it is accessible on my, actually, let me see, I can grab it. Let me see if I can grab the lymph stim for you. I have to think about this. Oh, you know what? Let me go to a different. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to grab a link and I'll post. So lymph stim is, it is a homeopathic lymphatic motivator. And in fact, if you really want to boost your immune system and you want to promote your lymphatics, let's see. Okay, lymph stim. I'm going to copy. Okay, so I'm going to include, I wonder if it'll let me include the bit.ly link here. Okay, so I'm just talking to myself. Okay, I'm going to include a link. Let's see, does that go? Okay, down below in the description box, there's a link to lymph stim. It's a homeopathic lymphatic motivator in my full script store. I put all of my lymphatic patients on that, and it greatly motivates the lymphatics. So one of the things with your immune system, you want to have a good, healthy immune response if you do have exposure to the coronavirus. A clogged, congested, poorly moving, stagnant lymphatic system will be a deterrent, or not a deterrent, but it will be an it lowers your immunity and it lowers your immune response. So the key to supporting your immune system is to move your lymphatics. So how do you do that? At home, you can take hot baths. Not for my lymphatic patients. So for everybody who's not lymphatic compromised, warm baths, sweat therapy, exercising, rebounding, jumping on a rebounder, dry skin body brushing. Those are all going to be beneficial things to move your lymphatics. My lymphedema patients, stay up on your garments. And I do know that a lot of my lymphatic patients have been very concerned because sometimes they go into a hospital setting or an outpatient setting where they get fitted. What I anticipate, if people don't stay put, we don't have social distancing, and we don't get control on the ignorance as we've seen with Steve here on YouTube, and people think this is a joke, and we have greater quantity. There's a curve coming. Okay, we're just going to see it go up. How high it goes up is the big question mark. And that's what we globally, healthcare, in the healthcare world, we're trying to limit so that we don't pass the healthcare threshold. But places like California are already anticipating they're going to hit that threshold. So what's happening is, if you go into your, I just got an email from our cake lady. The wedding emails just don't stop. Let me take a quick little thing of coffee, and I want to continue this comment. One of the things that I anticipate that we're going to see is in high-risk areas like New York. Okay, so I got my numbers here. New York, Washington, California, Massachusetts. I suspect the way I'm seeing people handle this in Georgia, Georgia's going to be up there. So what's going to happen is, when hospitals reach max capacity, they're going to start limiting the secondary, tertiary things like elective surgeries. You're going to see knee surgeries, hip surgeries start to, be offset or pushed out, because bed and space will be necessary. What we've seen in Italy is a complete devastation of the healthcare system and the process of the healthcare system. And what that means is that you're going to probably see your inability to get in to access your lymphatic therapists. Lymphatic therapists might be sent home, and we might see that room or space where you are where you're getting your measurements, or a mastectomy boutique. That might be a triage room. I mean, that is stuff we have to really think about. And I know it sounds crazy. This is not doom and gloom. This is reality. Italy had so many cases infiltrate their hospitals. They were treating people in the hallways. And unfortunately, nurses were having to make decisions like, does this person have family or do they not? Oh, the family and member, and they're a mom or a grandma, they get oxygen and this person doesn't. This person doesn't die, this person does. That's insane. That is what happens in a pandemic. We are here. Okay, we're here. The US, we're not there yet in terms of those horrible choices healthcare providers might have to make. And let's not have them have to make those choices. I mean, God forbid, could you imagine? I can't even. There's going to be PTSD from this. There already is. People are having stress. I've seen folks really see a lot of stress. Lois, would lymph stem benefit if you do not have lymphedema? Absolutely. Anybody with a functioning lymphatic system, which is all of us, can take lymph stem. My recommendation for regular therapeutic doses is the dropper will pull up just about a drop. Oh, Instagram. We went an hour. Oh, we're at 2 hours. Okay, I gotta save this story. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to repost some of these Instagram videos to IGTV. Gotta figure that out. Okay, so let me go back live on Instagram. Oops, hold on. Sorry, you guys. So lymphatically, it doesn't hurt to motivate your lymphatics. So any of you who really wants to boost your immune system, get your lymphatics flowing, or want to be armed and dangerous, now's the time to move your lymphatics. Start dry skin body brushing. You can grab dry skin body brushes online. I'm grabbing Instagram. Hey, Instagram, we're back. We're on our third hour, starting our third hour here on our chat, our live natural health news, talking about social distancing today. That's going to be the name of the game for all of you joining on YouTube as well. We've had a lot of great chats. We've had some crazy bombers with video for some crazy messaging and some bots. But I'm going to encourage everybody joining. Any questions you have, comment down below. Give us a thumbs up. Same on YouTube. You guys give me a thumbs up, share, hit the share button. I appreciate you sharing to your social channels, letting everybody know we're live and gaining access to this information. But definitely, we were talking about the lymphatic system and the role of your immune system. Folks with lymphatic challenges or lymphedema, they do present in a way. I put them in the same category as my autoimmune compromised. And All Alone says the hospital systems are working on a low staff anyways. True. Not enough nurses, long hours. Very, very, very true. So that is something we have to be conscious of. And Knight in Shining Armor is in Australia, and we were talking about Dirty Money. I was watching that with Brian last night. We only got through the first one with Jared Kutcher and the crazy stuff. Then we got into the gold one. I'm shocked. I don't like gold. We don't buy gold, but holy cow. Okay, Don C1701, can the coronavirus affect the eyes also? I'm not sure what specifically that question is, but it can be transmitted. So you can touch your fingertip that has, droplets of the virus. You can touch your eye. So I'm a contact wearer. A lot of times, I'm touching my eye. So, if you feel the need to touch your eye, wash your hands. If you can't wash your hands, use your hand sanitizers. And then once it dries, you can touch your eye. But just be really cognizant. That is a transmission point: eyes, nose, and mouth. Got some questions here. Hi, Shard 12 Lean. Great to see you. Can you repeat again your recommendation on lymph stem? Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. So I left off, I think, before. The lymph stem dosage, 3 doses a day. And so your dropper pulls up. The dropper itself, the wand is really long. And so what you're going to pull up is going to look like a third of the dropper. It's totally okay. That's a full dose. And you drop it, hold under your tongue. With homeopathics, you hold under your tongue for about 30 seconds, and then you swallow. You can do that 3 times a day. Now, dosing wise, like before you work out at home, so I'm going to say everything's at home. Before you go for a run in your neighborhood, go for a walk with your dog, before you dry skin body brush, before you maybe do a hot bath to get things moving, get your sweat going, you can do a dropper, do those activities, and that'll help further enhance that movement. All right, so, thanks, Pat, for sharing. All of them said I was going to be a nurse, but my psyche could not handle anything over 8 hours. Nurses need to put on their game always, and we catch mistakes. Yeah, it's very true. Nurses are the front line, and I worry about our nurses in terms of their mental, what's going to be mental strain for them, stress. They're going to be working long hours, and these are our caregivers. So when we have them in our lives, we have to love on them. And do all we can to support them. Teresa, do I have a video on teeth and gum healing? I actually do. Actually, I kind of detail, in wedding prep, I did a bone graft and PRP. I have a video on that. If you guys are interested in that, that's on the channel. PRP is pretty darn amazing. I had a little bit of this week was the week from hell. I went in for almost the third of 4 little procedures before the wedding, and the stress of everything just kind of hit the fan on Tuesday, and I ended up having a hematoma. Since okay, it's gone, but I went to my dentist, and she's like, we might have to do PRP, and I was like, awesome, can we put it on my face too? Like, PRP is so good. We were fine. My bleeding stopped, but it was kind of crazy. Show us the tea from yesterday. Okay. Yes, Lorianne. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so the teas that I had, let me see. All right, hold on. I think where's the tea? All right, well, this was the trio. Okay, so I had the seasonal sampler. That's what I grabbed. Actually, Target has this. You can get this online. I'll include links. I promise. Yesterday's links didn't seem to go up, but I'm working on links today. Seasonal sampler. This is from Traditional Medicinals. It has 4. It has their Gypsy Cold Care, Throat Coat, Echinacea Plus, and Breathe Easy. So this was really great. So I talked about teas yesterday. Let's see. I had somebody who asked, what is sepsis? So sepsis is when it's basically a blood-based infection, and it is mostly it's a fatal situation, and then can trigger organ failure. But people go septic, or they have sepsis, usually when there's an infection or an overabundant immune response. I have patients that have gone septic from having, they have lymphedema in their arm or leg, they get cellulitis, and then boom, they start to have sepsis set in. So it is a very dire state, and it is one of the conditions that causes folks in the COVID-19. Okay, let's see. Do you need to educate regarding the trending superbugs we already deal with, VRE, MRSA, and C. diff? Yep. Catherine, thanks for joining us. I've got to go. Wish you all the best in life and hope the best for you all. I appreciate that. A knight in shining armor. Yes, we are not prepared for an overwhelmed health system. Knight in shining armor is in Australia. I suggested we convert isolated shipping containers to on-site ICUs, but no one listens to a YouTube commenter. I think that's a brilliant idea. And yeah, the poop apocalypse. Actually, I saw somebody had posted, it's a corona apocalypse. Yeah, corona apocalypse. It is definitely something that we will all remember and we will all get through together. I think it's most important that we get through it together, that we stay armed and dangerous, that we stay inside our bubble. And so being in social isolation, I think that's really, really key, and limiting your engagement with others at this point until the US, for those of us living in the US, and definitely for other countries that apply, until we get a handle on testing people. We don't know the quantity of people walking around, running around with this, just being nonchalant and infecting people. And that's how these numbers, right? They rise and they multiply. It's an exponential multiplier, and it goes up and up and up. You know, you guys know about like compounding interest. This is a compounding situation. And while compounding interest is awesome for our pocketbooks, this is not awesome for our healthcare system. It's not awesome for our frontliners. It's not awesome for our health, and it will kill people. And in the US so far, we have 60 people who've died. And our first case, I think, was in early February, late January, early February. That's fast. That's like a month and a half, and it's going to keep moving. Okay, so I want to answer a few more questions, and then I've got to run. Marie, last fight, you're welcome. Thanks, everybody. So Instagram, all these lives should be on the replay. I've done almost 2 hours and 10 minutes. So tomorrow, let me tell you, tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm going live every morning. We'll do the same setup. Tomorrow, I'm committed to bringing you information about the surface time of the virus being alive. So being aware of certain surfaces that we're exposed to. And then I'm going to bring to you some cleaning options. I'm going to talk a little bit about the home. And then we'll go into some immune modulating herbs. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow in our show. And stay tuned for that. Let me see if there are any other questions. Can you check if the state of America and east to west line are more affected than the other states? That's a good question. At this point, we have 49 states impacted, and it's growing. It does appear that the middle part of the US is not as impacted yet. What we were doing, Brian and I were looking at it, and like it looks like the areas where we have major hubs, like airport hubs, are where we're seeing things. And so that's really, really big. So Atlanta being a big hub. And then I don't know if you guys are aware of, I didn't know this until a few days ago, Dobbins Air Force Base, a base really close to us, has the passengers from the cruise ship. They're in quarantine here. So we've got healthcare workers engaging with these individuals locally. And, you know, I was telling Brian last week, I'm like, you know, we had on Tuesday, Atlanta had a teacher who was tested. She tested positive with coronavirus. Well, she interfaces with 2 schools in Atlanta. Atlanta went into full shutdown. Fulton County, the entire county, is this long county that covers a lot of areas, north and south of Atlanta. Closed 2 days, 2 full days it closed. Our governor went on the air on Thursday and basically encouraged, we're not mandating, but we are encouraging schools to continue to close or think about it starting tomorrow. So all the universities are taking, you know, measures. My son is in a private school. They're off already last week with spring break, and now we're off indefinitely. Schools, I think in Florida, are closed until the end of March. I mean, the schools there are measures in place. But I was like, that teacher, she's going to have contact. She's going to have contact with the kids. Kids are going to have contact with the parents. Parents are going to, you know, be at games. And like, how many people does that hit? But also in our area, you could see on the CDC map, there's a link if you download this checklist. There's a link where you can look at the map. You can zoom in, you can zoom into your county. You can see where in your county, like Southern, we're in a county, we're on the border. Fulton is our backyard, our neighbors. Our fence is like a Fulton Cherokee line. And our neighbors, they're in a different county. Our county, south of the county, there was 1 case. I'm like, okay, great. Well, that's near Brian's work. Well, that person could have gone to the Target. They could have hit the Chick-fil-A. They could have gone to all these different places that we go to. And that the surface, you know, there's impact, and we're going to have a lot of impact. So that's going to be significant. And so I want to communicate that we're in it together. Stay socially isolated, friends. You're not socially isolated here in the digital world. And that's my commitment. Also, we'll build community here. We'll educate each other. I'll talk about plants. Okay, so we got these two things. So we're going to talk about immune modulating herbs, plants tomorrow, and then also the surface. And I'll give you updates. I'll give you more updates. So comment down below what state, any cities and countries that you want me to bring a report to. And I'm going to label this this series here on YouTube. I'm going to label it Natural Health News. So I'm going to kind of do a little playlist so you can kind of keep up to date, and then you can binge watch, because that's what we're all doing at home. We're going to Netflix it today after I do some more bulb planting. I'm very excited. My peonies, I didn't realize I could plant peonies here. So anyway, please do stay safe, friends. Be smart. Listen to the voice inside your head. And it's not just about you. You might be non-immunocompromised. You might be in a category where you're not a risk factor. But think about the others around you. Think about the people you interface with. And let's just think of alternatives. These are small sacrifices to make today to save lives tomorrow. And that's the reality. So I'm just blown away by how many of you participated on this this live, and I will be excited to bring more information to you tomorrow. We're just gonna keep equipping ourselves with information, and do start to take bolder conversation, or consider having bolder conversations with people in your lives, your work. Start creating your plan of attack with work for sure. Today, Sunday's a good day. Start emailing your boss, calling your employers, and having conversations about alternate plans, because this is something, until it gets mandated, we're all in control and responsible for ourselves. So hang in there, everybody. All of my friends here on YouTube, on Instagram, you'll catch me again tomorrow at 9 a.m. On Instagram, we're going to have some more educational little video content. So if you guys are not following me over on Instagram, I'm going to type it here in the hand. I'm going to put in the comment box real fast. Let's see, I think that's right. www.instagram.com, natural health resources. So follow me over there. That should work. Follow me over on Instagram, friends, because you can tune in. I'm going to have a lot of more. I think we're posting today some good, my top antiviral herbs I recommend. And we're posting, mushrooms. We're going to talk a little bit about some immune boosters. So go follow me on Instagram. Let's stay connected over there too. And tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. for more chatting. Hopefully we will minimize the extent of crazy commenters. And I will be active, and I'm going to be very insistent that I take action with individuals that either demonstrate nasty comments, that are making lewd, sexual, harassing comments like we saw, that are, just minimizing this conversation in a way where we have to get educated. So I know for all those folks that stuck in with the crazy commenters, I appreciate it for bringing those individuals to my attention. But we're definitely armed and dangerous. We're in it together, friends. Just take a deep breath. Tune in to what's important. Our health and happiness is important. We've got a lot of great, awesome things we can do at home. And I'm going to have some video content about that, like healthy things you can do at home. And spring cleaning time, let's get focused on what's most important, and it's our health. Without that, we can't do anything. And so stay well, everybody. Please give this a thumbs up, comment on the videos, please share these to your communities. I'm grateful for that. And I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yay. All right. Have a good day. Happy Sunday. I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Okay. Bye, everybody on YouTube. See you later. Thank you so much for all your time.